Alright, so what we're talking about today is Sunder charms and their interactions with other sources of low resist. Okay, so basically, I'm making this video because I personally have experienced a whole lot of like mixed information in terms of how these interactions go mechanics wise. Um, I've read that like lower resist and conviction will apply at reduced strength, and then I read that like cold mastery also applies at reduced strength, and then I read that all sources apply at reduced strength, and then I read that cold mastery, conviction, and lower resist apply at reduced strength, but then if it's an affix, it applies at 100% strength. So I've sort of heard all of these like mixed takes on how it works. And so as of the most recent patch, which I'll probably just like post whatever patch that is in the corner of the video or something. Um, but as of that, I wanted to prove this is exactly how this mechanic works. So to do that, I'm using zombies as a control because they're slow, easy to like illustrate this with. So these figures I got from the Diablo wiki. Zombie HP falls somewhere between 3,200 and 6,100. The median for that is 4,700, but just from like my own testing, most of them are slightly above the median at like right around 5,000, with a cold resist of 120%, so immunity. Right? Understand. So for the sake of some of these calculations where I calculated like how many hits it's going to take to kill them, these are based on the assumption that they all have exactly 5,000 health. So on some of these where it's like, oh, it should take one hit to kill him with that, uh, it might one tap, or he might have a little sliver left over, right? If it's supposed to take two hits, that means each hit is supposed to do half the bar. That might be like slightly over half the bar or slightly lower half the bar, depending on where in this range that specific zombie that spawned falls with in terms of like just their hit points. So the first thing that we want to prove is lower or minus to enemy resist as an affix, right? Because that's gonna kind of allow me to illustrate all of the other ones subsequent. So lower resist as an affix. Have that dude chasing me because I kind of I have all these basically bugged items, right? So I have 2,500 cold damage from these bugged small charms, a wand, and then I have another wand over here that's minus 195, and another wand here that's minus 95. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take the cold rupture out so that we can show exactly how this works. So I'll grab this zombie right here. So he's completely immune. The 1 pixel of his bar that you're seeing drop off there is from the like 2 to 4 damage of the wand, right? And you'll see if I put on the minus 95 to resist, even though that's applied at 100% strength, which is what we're about to prove, that cannot break immunities. So these zombies are still immune to cold, right? And then if I put on the minus 195, right? This dude should have minus 100% resist right now. Still taking no damage because as an affix, it cannot break the immunity, right? Now, we put Cold Rupture in the inventory. The Cold Rupture is going to lower their resist to 95% right out the gate. So now, we put our wand, our regular 2 to 4 damage wand. And so what this should be, if the math works, with the Cold Rupture charm, the resistance is at 95%. So if my charms are allowing me to do 2,500 damage, and they're only taking 5% of that, I should be doing 125 per damage, 125 cold damage per hit. It means it should take roughly 40 hits to kill a zombie. So you can see that's about right. 7, 10 hits, and that's about a quarter of his bar. Okay, so that I would say that math checks out pretty well. Now this wand minus 95. So if the Cold Rupture brings them down to 95, and then because this is a magical affix on the item, so this is going to include uniques that lower resist, rainbow facets, rune words, whatever has items that have minus to enemy resist as one of the blue traits on them. This is going to work this way and be applied at 100% strength. So now he should have 0 resist, which means he'll be taking the full 2500 damage. So it should take 2 hits to kill this full HP zombie, right? 1, 2. And again, he had a little bit higher HP. So it was slightly more than 2 hits. But that right there shows that minus 95, perfect. Now we're going to try the minus 195. So what that should mean is the zombie's resistance, Sunder Charm brings it down to 95. Minus 195 should bring it down to minus 100%. That's as low as a monster's resistances can possibly go. So they should basically be taking double cold damage. It should take 1 hit to kill a zombie, assuming they have 5,000 hit. We'll run up to this guy. 1 hit. Easy, right? So, basically with that, we've just proved that when minus to enemy resist is a magical affix, it's applied at 100% strength, even after the Sunder. Awesome. Cool beans. So, for the rest of this, we'll only be using the regular wand, because I don't want any more. We've already proven this, so I don't really... The next thing we're going to talk about is Cold Mastery. So a level 36 Cold Mastery should subtract 195 to monster resist. Now, if that was applied at 100% strength, we just saw, like, it should one-tap a zombie. But what actually happens is Cold Mastery is applied at 1/5 strength after the Sunder. So the first thing I'm going to show is without the Sunder Charm. And I have a plus 36 to Cold Mastery. So I have a level 36 Cold Mastery on this Paladin right now. So you're going to see these zombies. I guess I was smacking this guy, but you'll see he doesn't take any damage at all. Because Cold Mastery, no matter how high the value is, cannot break the immunity. So kind of similar to the affix, the magical affix in that regard. However, as soon as we put on the Cold Rupture, right, we're going to see, without Cold Rupture, you're still immune. With Cold Rupture and Cold Mastery, zombie resist is brought down to 95% by the Cold Rupture, and then 1/5 of 195 for the Cold Rupture is 39%. So, this zombie currently has 56% resistance to cold, which means I'll be doing 1100 damage per hit. It should take me 4.5 hits, so 5 hits to kill a zombie. This dude's full HP, so it should be about 5 hits right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Again, the numbers weren't exact. It took more like 4, but that dude had just slightly lower hit point, right? So, Cold Mastery, perfect. I feel like we've kind of proven that one as well. Now we're going to talk about Conviction Aura. So to do that, you have to take off the Cold Mastery. And I have plus 5 to Conviction. Okay, now I put on my level 25 Conviction Aura. So at level 25, Conviction is minus 150% resist all, right? But again, Conviction is applied at 1/5 strength after Cold Rupture. So the first thing that we're going to show is without Cold Rupture, exactly how it works. So Conviction can break immunity. However, it's still applied at 1/5 the strength. So because a zombie has 120% cold resist, right? And then Conviction Aura at 1/5 strength is minus 30%, right? 150 divided by 5, so 30% right there. So without Cold Rupture, 120 plus a negative 30 puts them at 90% cold resistance. 90% means I'll be doing 250 cold damage per hit. Means it should take about 20 hits to kill a full HP zombie, right? And we're going to test that. No cold rupture, still using the regular wand. This dude's full HP. Should take about 20 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's half his bar right there, right? So 20 hits, perfect. The math is working. So there's that. Now, when I put the cold rupture in my inventory, cold rupture is going to bring him down to 95%. And then the 1/5 strength conviction is going to bring him further down another 30%, which puts him at 65. 65, so if he's taking 35% cold damage per hit, he's going to be taking 875 damage per hit. So it should take roughly 6 hits to kill a full HP zombie with cold rupture in the inventory and a level 25 conviction order. See if I have any left. I might have to reset here in a minute. I would like him to be full HP. Here's a full HP. All right, 6 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. So all of the math is working exactly how we expect it to work. Okay, and the last thing that we're going to talk about is lower resist, right? So drop the conviction aura because I don't want to forget to. Then I have plus 40 to lower resist. Now, lower resist at level 40 is minus 67% to resist all. Okay? Good, that dude went back up to full. So, without cold rupture, here's the thing. I'm actually not sure. I'm sure that this is like on one of the sites or something like that, but it's kind of irrelevant. So, because lower resist is going to be applied at 1/5 strength, 67% at level 40, 1/5 of 67% is minus 13.4. So even if lower resist had the ability to sunder immunity, it doesn't matter because it can't get up to a high enough value, right? So at minus 13.4, and they have 120% cold resist, even if that's applied, they're still over 106 percent resistance. So even if lower resist has the ability to sunder immunity, doesn't matter because it can't get high enough to do that on something as basic as a zombie, right? So you'll see no cold rupture in the inventory. I'll apply lower resist to this guy. You can see the particles. He's got lower resist, and he's still taking nothing, right? Just the 1 pixel of damage from the wand itself. Now, when we put the cold rupture charm in the inventory, with cold rupture, zombie resist is brought down to 95% by the cold rupture, and then a further 13.4%. So that brings their total resistance down to 81.6%. So I should be doing 460 cold damage per hit. So it should take roughly 11 hits to kill this zombie from full HP while he's got lower resist, while I have cold rupture in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. He's got a tiny little sliver left over, so that means that he had a little more max hit points when he spawned, right? So basically with this, what we've done is we've been able to prove those 4 interactions between other sources of lower resist and the cold rupture. If there's anything that I've gotten wrong, or like any mechanics that I've sort of overlooked, like, please don't hesitate to let me know, because I love learning more stuff all the time. But yeah, hopefully that helps somebody in the same way that it helped me to like just do this sort of testing. So I love stuff like this.